Today on Cabal Cast, we are back in Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath, doing another 1 versus 1 video commentary, all done with my series with Unleashed and Steve Nash. Now focusing on this game, it is replay of the week, but this replay was way the hell back in 2011. So I figured since there's no replays to cast at the moment, I will take a look at this game. So it features BikeRushOwnZ and XLNX on Classic Tournament Rift. So to the right here, we see this is BikeRushOwnZ playing as a GDI faction, red GDI. Not sure if he's going to be GDI Vanilla, Steel Talons, or Reaper 17. Or not Reaper 17, Zocom. That's what I was thinking of. And this XLNX, he is playing as the purple Zocom. So he's going to go for one rifleman squad to the north half of the map and an engineer to the south, and immediately sell off for one rifleman squad. He's not going to go for any more scouts, so he's not going to go down the guts. Meanwhile, BikeRushOwnZ, he's playing as GDI Vanilla, and he's sending two squads to the center of the map, and he's sending two down to the bottom half. So not very many scouts from XLNX. Looks like he's very confident in his abilities to counter BikeRush. He's going to go for a foxhole, and BikeRush is going to be splitting up his rifleman squads, one going to the little higher up, and one going down the guts. So it looks like XLNX is going to may lose his rifleman squad to BikeRush here, and it looks like he will do so. If he doesn't get to this garrison structure right here. BikeRush take a little bit of damage from that foxhole, but he's going to counter foxhole himself another foxhole too. And it looks like XLNX will get to the garrison structure. One rifleman squad will remain. And BikeRush is going to go down to the bottom half of the map and garrison up that structure right there. It looks like XLNX is confident he doesn't not going to scout BikeRush, but BikeRush is going to go for Pitbull Scout, whereas XLNX is not going to go for one himself. He's going to go for a heavy rocket harvester. Heavy harvesters are for Steel Talons. And a single Pitbull is making its way across the map very, very fast. It looks very slowly from when I do this with the scroll, but honestly, in game perspective, that's actually pretty fast for a Pitbull Scout. He's going to make his way very slowly to the base of XLNX. And XLNX is placed on another refinery, and he's at 3 and 2 now. He's going to go for another rocket harvester. Whereas BikeRush, he's a little bit slow getting a refinery. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe he went for extra scouts. Oh, that's why. Yeah, he went for extra scouts and he placed on 2 foxholes, which cost a little bit more money to do. So that's why he's a little bit behind. MCV taking a little bit of damage from that Pitbull scouts. So it looks like BikeRush doing a little bit of damage, and it looks like he may be able to finish off that Pitbull because that Pitbull's in reverse move. Is reverse moving, and that reverse moving is not what you wanted to do. You wanted to face the guy head on. BikeRush finally placing his second refinery, but it's like he's maybe 10-15 seconds behind in terms of that. But it looks like he's going a different route to the expansion. Looks like he wants to do a Gromage build, and if you guys don't know who Gromage is, Gromage did this type of cheese build at Steel Talons where he packed up his MCV, went straight for the blue field, placed on a refinery and a war factory, and then just immediately gathered that up, and then went for this field right here. That was actually pretty powerful, and Iponio used to do that too. And I don't know if he still does that anymore, but that's what Gromage did. And Gromage perfected it, and it worked really, really well as Steel Talons. Single Pitbull Scout from XLNX is going to be bypassing the center half of the map, and he's going to spot that BikeRush is going to go down to the bottom here. He may actually go just put a barracks down here and just capture those tip spikes. That'll be a nice boost of economy. BikeRush is at 5 and 2 right now. He's going to go straight for Pitbulls now. XLNX has 5 and 2. No, that's 6 and 2. So it looks like he's a little bit... that's not what you need. You need to transfer one of those harvesters down to the bottom half of the map, and he's still going for Pitbulls as well. BikeRush is down here now. It looks like he's going to build a watchtower as well as a barracks. What did he build? Did he build another power plant? Oh yeah, he did build another power plant. Okay, build another power plant and watchtower for defense. Not sure what that's for. Looks like he's going to go for capture of those tip spikes. That's going to give him massive amounts of economy. Meanwhile, XLNX is placed on a barracks and another refinery at his expansion base, and he's got 3 and 2 in this field right here. And he did transfer one of his harvesters down to the bottom half of the map here, and BikeRush is just going to be scouting inside the base to see what he can find. I don't think he saw that crane. I'm not sure if he did see that crane. No, he did not see that crane. So XLNX is that crane is going to go completely unscouted, and I don't think BikeRush knows about that. Pink single Pitbull Scout from XLNX has scouted BikeRush's base, powers down that watchtower. And it looks like he did place a refinery down there, so it looks like BikeRush is going to go immediately gather up that blue tib, and he's building a couple of rockets for defense. Did also place another watchtower, so it looks like he did spy out that XLNX is going to go for mass infantry, and mass infantry it is going to be. So it looks like he doesn't have a, oh, he does have an armory, so he's going to go straight for infantry upgrades. Going to go for tip field suits. He's probably not going to go for EMP grenades just yet. I don't think he does no EMP units. But it looks like both these players are going to go straight for infantry, and infantry is going to be extremely good. Predator tanks going to be coming out now, and Predator tanks are not what you need for what's going to be transpired here. Now infantry is going to be coming straight towards BikeRush's expansion. Meanwhile, the pit bulls here from BikeRush are going to go straight into XLNX's base, but those pit bulls are going to push those away. And it looks like it's going to be a full-on infantry wars here. We'll pull up the health bars. There we go. And we're going to be spying that BikeRush is losing a little bit of forces because he has less rocket squads than XLNX. Now this is going to be just full-on base wars where we see sniper teams from BikeRush, and this is going to be doing wonders for him. And even the Predator tanks are doing some damage, squishing all those forces, and those comes some pit bulls here, and this is just mass murder. BikeRush is just destroying all those rocket infantry, and then those sniper teams are doing wonders now for BikeRush. But at the same time, our watchtower has been placed down, and those are destroying. They're not targeting the sniper teams, and now they're targeting the sniper teams, and counter watchtowers are being built now, and it's just full-on massacre. But it looks like it's actually pretty even right now. BikeRush is building barracks inside the base, inside the expansion of XLNX, and now the pit bulls are just being destroyed. The Predator tanks are being pushed back as well, and this is just like full-on massive amounts of base wars. It looks like XLNX's construction is under attack, but that's not going to take too much damage. And at the same time, BikeRush is cleaned out his main base, whereas XLNX is still mining operations here, but he's just going to be following it up with another force of attack from those pit bulls. I'm not sure how much BikeRush can pull this one off. He's out of Tiberium. He's just relying on the spikes now to clean up his defense. He wants to clear out that construction. Looks like he will finish off that construction yard, and now that's not good for XLNX. Now he has to just defend against just with infantry, while BikeRush just goes for massive amounts of base defenses with watchtowers. He doesn't have a comm center, so he's not going to be able to go for API mode just yet. Although he's rerouting his forces with his Predator tanks and pit bulls to the top base here to do some harvester harassment. That's a nice move there, but and looks like he's just going to be intent on just going with just full-on bases and base defenses to destroy XLNX. And XLNX's forces aren't moving at all. They're just standing idle. Looks like they're not on an aggressive stance. You want your infantry to go on aggressive stance so they can fire whatever they please. And XLNX is still trying to fight this, and BikeRush is still trying to defend this. Even the watchtower is inside the base of BikeRush as well, and even more base defenses. Looks like XLNX is low on economy right now. The pit bulls and the base defenses are going to be going in right now. And the crane is taking massive amounts of damage. BikeRush not finishing off the crane. Now he will. Looks like that's the only production structure left. Then XLNX doesn't have a war factory. He just has infantry to defend. He just has 4 barracks. Yes, no, 5 barracks, sorry. 5 barracks, and that's it. So BikeRush is going to be doing pretty good, but although that BikeRush needs to think about expanding again because he's out of Tiberium. So both players have kind of screwed each other over. BikeRush destroyed the crane and the war factory from XLNX, whereas XLNX has held BikeRush and managed to waste all those forces and base defenses on just building massive amounts of infantry and base defenses. So we'll see who's going to be coming on top here. We see that XLNX is going to go to the top half of the map here with his infantry. And those infantry forces are still in pretty good health. He has mostly missile squads, of course, but he does have a couple of rifleman squads in there. And BikeRush needs to think about what he needs to do next. He needs to expand, definitely needs to expand, but he's just intent on building watchtowers. He has, what, 6 watchtowers now, and sniper teams now from XLNX. That's going to be destroying the rest of the infantry here, and foxholes are going to be coming in, and XLNX is just going to be firing on all cylinders. Now he's going to be attacking the base again, and this is going to be forcing BikeRush. He needs economy now, and he's going to be building a refinery. So at the moment here, he cannot hold this. There's too many infantry squads here for BikeRush to handle. He's going to have to just hold off as best he can, and he does have a refinery at the expansion field, so that's going to be pretty good. But it's just pushing XLNX. XLNX is just pushing in to the base and just retreating with his rocket squads because he just can retreat behind these foxholes, and that's going to be pretty good. This is classic Tib War style. In Tiberian Wars, if you have massive amounts of infantry in your GDI, you can just go foxholes and then just massive amounts of infantry, and it'll just be impossible to stop. And this is a lot of infantry forces, although there's a lot of them that are in the red, and they can be easily squashed. And it looks like XLNX is just going to retreat back to his base now, because there's Predator tanks here, and there's a couple of rocket squads inside the base now, and there's the harvesters. The harvesters are actually a good counter because they're rocket harvesters, so that's a good thing too. And he can use that as anti-tank units, although the rockets aren't doing undue they don't do good damage, but they are a good a counter to just attacking the harvest because they do have a lot of health. There comes a predator attack, and that just instantly gets just absolutely massacred by the massive amounts of infantry. Now Bike Rush, he's building up APCs with Ruffman squads. Ruffman squads do have composite armor, which is good, but I don't think they're as good as tip field suits. I know I did a trial by fire VOD a long time ago, whereas I tested composite armor versus tip field suits, and tip field suits are good for walking the Tiberian field, but I don't think composite armor is. I think composite armor is more powerful than tip field suits, because tip field suits increases armor and hit points, decreases damage from Tiberian attacks, and increases armor and hit points. Okay, I don't know. I'm sure somebody will correct me saying which one's more powerful, tip field suits or composite armor. I can't remember. Rockets and rocket harvesters are coming into the base here, and they're going to be attacking all these foxholes, and just Bike Rush is doing the best he can to try to defend against this full-on infantry. Where at the same time, XLNX is taking massive amounts of damage. He lost a refinery, and looks like this is the only attack that XLNX has left. And Bike Rush is just going to be fully intent on just foxholing everything. That's a lot of foxholes. A lot of foxholes. There's like what, 3, there's 6, 9, 10 foxholes, 11 foxholes. More foxholes are going to be built 12. And XLNX is just going to be grouping up his forces, doing a massive amount of damage. And now AP ammo is done for Bike Rush. AP ammo is done, so this massive infantry force now from XLNX is possibly going to go down, but we'll see what happens because the Ruffman squads are attacking the harvesters, and that's going to be a good move there. XLNX is just destroying all the infantry right now with his rocket harvesters, and the rocket harvesters are taking all the damage. And this is not what Bike Rush needs. Bike Rush needs to focus down and destroy all the rocket harvesters first before he can focus on the infantry. But the infantry force are attacking the rocket squads too, and the rocket squads are taking a lot of damage. And the harvesters are doing the best they can, but there's too many APCs, too many harvesters, and all that force now has just been diminished. XLNX lost all of his forces, and Bike Rush holds strong in that massive amount of defense. XLNX has a small force, though, to defend. But Bike Rush, this entire time, he just massed infantry and APCs. Now the power is down because that was his only power plant. But at the same time, this tip spikes. If XLNX, he would have taken out that garrison, he would have captured the tip spikes, and he would have increased his economy now. But now Bike Rush just has to hold and defend and push it, and he can push in whenever he pleases. But he needs another refinery though. It's a barracks. Okay, so it's gonna be more infantry defenses now, and XLNX has been defeated. No chance for XLNX to come in. There's like 20 foxholes right there. So that was a very short game, but you know what? That was a very intense game. Just full-on infantry. That was great. That was awesome. XLNX had the most amount of units in the game, but look at that. He just dropped down 100 units because from that last engagement. That was a massacre. Structures up and down, resources. XLNX had the most economy, surprisingly, until about the 9-minute mark when he just flatlined there from not having any more refineries. And then Bike Rush took over as well. Now we see that stats, Rifleman Squad, Missile Squad, 94,430 to Bike Rush, 89,017 to XLNX. So, actually, surprisingly, Bike Rush only had, like, what, $3,000 more than XLNX, which is not a whole lot. But at the same time, he had that slim amount of Tiberian, which allowed him to destroy that large force XLNX had. All right, so there's a game on Tournament Rift. My name is Cabal. I'll see you guys next time.